underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
White down. White 85.
Let's get the ball.
Under 10. White. What's up? Here we go. That's up.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Check. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. He's checking. Crash.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Check. Hey, 734. Low.
Get the edge. Go.
Express.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Set. 70. Indy.
Here we go. Kill.
Leo.
Crunch.
Sweep.
Slam.
Get it.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
They don't want it. Safe. Switch. Big edge.
Bam. Look at me. Go.
We got double up.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Let's go.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Ready? 30 base.
Check, Michael.
22 jet bombers.
Rush in.
Check go.
They'll try to run for it with Cohen.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
1st down, Chargers.
Down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Whip.
Greystone travel.
Shoot.
Go.
Check 31.
Hey, Sam on.
Kill. Ship.
5.
1st down, a run with Cohen. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
4 yards on the pitch. Second and 6 at the Raiders' 49-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6.
Right here. Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right.
Protein spill.
4 down. Check. 4 down.
Hey, lock it.
He's checking crack.
They'll run on second down with Cohen. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
And give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
All runs on this drive so far. It's first and 10.
Get that ball. Check.
Hey, seam 6.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he completes it to Cohen. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down.
Good job, D. That's right.
He's taken out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10. Second and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, third and 10. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down. So they'll pass on what would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt, and they're going for it on fourth down. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward, and indeed he did not. They stop him.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on fourth down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive.
Coming to you.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10.
Watch the shift.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check, safe.
OP.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Down. Blue 80.
57's a Mike.
Raider 1.
This way. Here we go.
93. Mike. Mike, Raider run.
You better bring it. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right
On third down, it's Jacobs. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. No score after one on EA Sports. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Tighten up.
Check it back. Your mind. 29. 29. They say, hard. 107's the mic. Watch 57. Get down. Get down. Hey. Go. Run,
and he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
Check 24. Check 24.
Raider 9. Deuce right, Chief. Here we go, D. All day. Defense all day. All day.
Check 3. Check 3. Check 3.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And very little there. He might have gotten I think he got a yard to the 41.
Deron Payne on the stop. 1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the Chargers' 41-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Here we go. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey. Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Past the 20. Touchdown! A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Leo. Look, squeeze.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. Check. Fresno.
Running on first down, Eckler. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
General West. Watch safety go.
2nd and 4.
Safety's creeping.
And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end.
Check. Lucky. Watch the edge. Kill. Hey, turn it up.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh.
Hey, let's get some penetration.
80 weapons.
Get me some penetration.
Bam. Hurry.
24. Check 24. Check 9. Check 8.
They'll try and run for it with Jones.
Check 26.
Before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. They'll run on 1st down. It's Jones.
Watch twist.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now the 2nd down throw on target. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
70 Indy.
Oh, yeah. And here we go again.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
To throw on 2nd down. Herbert. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Let's go.
The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
Look at me. Score.
You got tight. You got tight right there. Tighten up. Check.
Gone.
Check. Alert 3.
Hey, Sam on. Let's go.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him, and score a touchdown.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended to...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Mike's 56. Mike's 56. Gotta do better.
Operating from the gun. Pryor. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Here comes Cohen. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10 at their own 43. Throwing to start the drive. Herbert. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine, baby. You're all mine. Sit up. Check. Check.
2nd and 5. That is caught by Cohen. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Looking to throw. Herbert. The open man is Shark. It's complete. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, Herbert. The attempt on the dive, and he losing yardage back at the 40. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with 2nd and very long. Back to throw. Herbert, he's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Let's go.
Now the 2nd-year kicker, Michael Badgley. He hit from 59 as a rookie. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Escaping the pressure right. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece. 7-7 our score. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Recon, 132 fighter. Watch out. Watch twist. Hey, lock it.
Chest. Undercrunch. Out.
Rock it.
Alert, flare.
Now.
Again, it's Jones.
Tight dog.
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Herbert. It's caught. Cooper. 20. 10. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Man out.
Off the play fake. Pryor. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Squeeze. Check. Crunch.
They'll go again to Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. Off play action. Herbert. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He'll return it from the 6. A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
This quarterback now just 2 out of 6 since coming on, but he's got a 1st and 10.
Safe. Switch. Motion.
Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Big edge. 56, the mic, boys, 56.
Looking to throw on second down. Pryor. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Back to throw. Pryor into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. There he goes right side. And this is going to be a Charger touchdown. Third down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Throwing after the interception. Pryor. He'll have a first down past the 40. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Mike's 56.
From the gun, Pryor. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 19.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
57's the Mike.
So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long.
Rush in. Rush in. Rush in. Whip. Watch the whip.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Let's go now. The Mike. Short. 15 line.
Ricky. 56 the Mike. 56 is the Mike. Defense wins championship.
Operating from the gun. Pryor. And Adams has it. Complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Check 31.
Great stone. Bravo.
Kill.
They'll run it with Jacobs. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. McManus's point after is good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Hey, Haywood.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
Let's go, D. Let's go. General West. Slam, slam. Hit it.
Again, it's Cohen. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range, and guess what? They've got a shot.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
The Raiders on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
From the gun, Pryor trying to lay one up deep, and all the way in for the touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth.
Brandon McManus set to kick off.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They'll need to regroup after the costly interception last time. It led to a tying touchdown. 21 all is where we stand, and they've got it 1st and 10. The run on first down gets him a couple up to the 27. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Hey, check 24.
Here's 2nd and 8. And this is going to be intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. In a tie game, 4th quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew in certain situations the type of plays they like to run, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
Extra point from McManus is good, and they will take a 7-point lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Charger drive about to get going. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right?
Let's go. Hey, check Mike 11. Check Mike 11.
Looking to throw. Herbert. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off. Near the 44.
At their own 46-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Here we go.
The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
Here we go.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Come on, set. Time to end it. Right there. 56. Check. Kill. SOS. Watch the safety creep.
On first down, Jacobs. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
Ready. 57's the mic. 57's the mic. In your face. 66, bullet, ha.
And to give this time to the tailback. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Yeah, baby. Boom.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
I'm here all day.
Huh, check 43.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And an alley to run. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
McManus now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger drive about to get going. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. He's going to float this over the middle deep, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 12, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So it's Raider football as we get you reset.
Like
and you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Jacobs now. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
That's trash. That's trash.
The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee.
A 1-yard loss on the play. It's now 3rd and 10.
Ready up. 56. Mike's 56. Y'all not ready.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been terrific so far. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the home team here, they're setting themselves up as a major contenders. They move to 8-1 now on the year, and they'll get to stay home again next week.